This week on Out and About, this is the biggest annual classical concert that they have every year. We're going to enjoy a lot of classical music. Join us this Saturday at 9 p.m. right here on Capital Television.
Capital News tonight. Accident in Morogoro kills 3 and injures 16. The government of Uganda to establish rescue centers. In sports, RAF General Secretary Simon Bakers has confidence in tough management. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. Now, a Rungwe Express bus company which conducts its trips between Mbeya and Dar es Salaam has collided with a Fuso car at Iyovi area in Morogoro region with 3 passengers dead and 16 injured.
Ni kweli tumepokea taarifa ya gari huko kwenye barabara ya Iyovu.
It is true that we've received news about the accident in Nyovu, located on Iringa-Morogoro Road in Morogoro region, whereby a vehicle with registration number T158 TNN Scania belonging to Rungwe company traveling from Dar es Salaam to Mbeya. The driver goes by the name of Ibrahim Msuva, aged 36, was involved in a head-on collision with another vehicle with registration number T814DHT belonging to Tuombe Mungu company coming from Iringa to Mikumi.
More than 10 acres of estate owned by tree farm of Ukaguru in Njukwa village Mandege ward in Gairo district Morogoro region have been burned. This comes after a man known as Adriano Chihamba, who is a resident of Njukwa village, set fire to the tree farm and then disappeared. Due to this, the Commissioner of Gairo district, Ms. Cyril Mchembe, has directed that a manhunt for the suspect should begin immediately and they should arrest him when they find him in order for stronger measures to be taken against him.
So I'm repeating my directives to the OCD of Gairo, Musa Makasue, that the one responsible for this should be held in custody, because this destructiveness is very serious. Even the citizens will laugh at the government if we fail to capture this criminal, because he has caused a very big loss by burning this area. I think there's also a need to relook on the landmarks of Ukaguru tree forest. The big aim is plantation to the area which we have harvested in the past, as I have said in my explanations, in which the last time of harvest was 2006. Also, there are new areas of like 400 hectares which we are also looking in doing plantations of this seedling. We saw the smoke and the citizens identified that there is a fire that is burning this area. So we gave each other information through phone communications.
The fate concerning the bail of the Chadema chairman Freeman Mbowe and his co-accused Esther Matiko, who is the MP for Tarime Urban, will be known on November 30th, 2018. On the day, the High Court will give its verdict on whether it will reject the decision of the Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court or whether it will agree for the bail of the 2 accused Chadema leaders to be revoked. While presenting her arguments opposing the appeal, the Chief State Prosecutor Dr. Zainabu Mango said that the sections of the law which defense's legal team used to present their appeal were not right, and thus she was requesting for the appeal to be dismissed. Moreover, the state alleges that the case itself that was being decided in court had not yet wrapped up and its documents had not yet been completed, typed. As a result of that, it was very difficult to read the document as the spellings of some words lacked a few letters here or there, and the magistrate's handwriting was also not very clear in some areas of the documents. On his part, the lawyer for the defense team, Peter Kibatala, claimed that the state's arguments were groundless legally as the question of the documents had already been decided on the court. Upon hearing the strong legal contestations, Judge Rumanyika adjourned the case to November 30th, 2018, which is when he will decide whether to reject the verdict made by Kisutu Court or not. The conditions of the bail for Mbowe and Matika were revoked at the Kisutu Court 1 week ago in the same case. Faced by fellow suspects who are being charged with 13 accusations, one of these alleged crimes being incitement. Now, the police force in Dar es Salaam Special Police Zone has confirmed killing 6 citizens of Burundi as well as a Tanzanian and capturing weapons such as an AK-47 and 8-hand grenades. Dar es Salaam Special Police Zone Commander Lazaro Mambosasa has said that the robbers died due to a trap set by officers following reports of the capture of 2 suspects.
The suspects had planned to commit serious crime of robbing major city banks. After receiving intelligence, we established that there were some who were experienced from Burundi. One of the gang members is Tanzanians. They had 3 machine guns, AK-47, but they had 217 ammunition.
Thousands of citizens and students of Ingwe Street, Tarime district has protested acts of gender-based violence against women and children, with some traditional elders mentioned as preparing to capture and circumcise girls at night.
Now let me tell you, don't even think of trying, because the phases have changed. Especially this 5th phase is very keen. And this information which we got here, we're taking them and going to work on them. For all mentioned, we're going to start with them. We don't have any excuses in delaying. This campaign aims in reaching all 26 wards, 88 villages, and all the neighborhoods of Tarime Council. Dear citizens, my hope after completing this campaign, citizens will have a great knowledge on stopping abuse to women and children. Also, the society will open up in giving information and taking measures against people doing abuses. I expect this issue of abuse will reduce greatly.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has said that the government has set good strategies to ensure that citizens, especially small-scale miners, benefit from the resources, thus advising small-scale farmers to join a group so that their government can help them in various ways, including loans to increase capital. The Prime Minister said this today when speaking to the public after setting the foundation stone of Mbogwe Council building. Now, all non-governmental organizations, NGOs in the country are expected to stop providing their services at any time from now for failing to fulfill government rules, including keeping open the amount of money they receive from donors and how it is used. Speaking to officials of the organizations and government officers of Arusha region, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health dealing with community development, John Jingu, said that despite the government giving sufficient time, all NGOs have failed to submit the information, something that the active registrar of the organization, Neema Mwanga, says lead to their close and dissolution.
things against the law, because they're registered for certain work, but they end up doing something quite different. Now some have agreed to change. Some of these NGOs have been hiding completely the use of finance they have, and that is a problem and is against the law.
Na ambalo limefafanuliwa vizuri na kanuni zetu za utekelezaji wa sheria hii.
Na kwa sababu mashirika haya yana legal personality.
Since these organizations have legal personalities, it will be required to unveil the directors or personnel which are involved in failing to bring the required information.
Washtaki watu binafsi ambao wameshindwa kutoa taarifa katika ofisi zinazohusika.
Some residents of Kikamba village in Angwala ward, Songwe district have complained on the challenge of facing children from livestock communities not having the opportunity to education because their parents invaded and built their homes in the forest where there are no social services, forcing students to stop schooling as they are unable to travel 7 to 15 kilometers to ET0 primary school.
They stay in different areas, some even 7 kilometers. Now for a child of like 5 years old, it's quite a challenge. There are so many kids staying in the forest areas. They're not even going to schools. Now we see if we emphasize on better use, we'll give new areas.
National police illegal business activity which go on countries' borders, such as the entry and distribution of fake goods, human trafficking and abductions. Speaking in Arusha with the chiefs of investigations into crimes related to treason for the northern zone regions, who are all attending a training exercise on the prevention of the entry of counterfeit goods into the country, IGP Ciro called upon the high-ranking officers to play an instrumental role in the implementation of the plan. The Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police, SACP Christopher Faume, who is the head of the Financial Law Department of the police force, said that an increase in the quantity of counterfeit goods badly affects the economy of the country.
Interpol. And new RCOs must know what is Interpol. Use SCB to train your people. The issue of counterfeit goods is a very sensitive issue. And since we are the ones overlooking on this, we have to have the skills and knowledge when it comes to counterfeit goods. That is why DFCC, through military police, decided to start this training to help the RCOs to know the effects of such crimes, how to deal with them, and what the law says about them. Because without knowing about such crimes, it will lead to not knowing the actual effect of them.
16 patients at Buganda Referral Hospital in Mwanza have begun to receive hernia surgeries by using a modern method known as mesh, which helps to completely remove the possibility of this problem reoccurring to the patient.
Wanaume wana hivi risk ya hernia kwa lifetime.
In men, they have a great chance of getting hernia. In every 4 men, 1 is likely to get hernia. So we have a lot of people with this problem. Also here, they do a lot of hard work. We have patients here in Mwanza and others coming in Sengerema who work in farms performing hard work while they have hernia.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next after the break.
Wizara ya Viwanda, Biashara na Uwekezaji kupitia Mamlaka ya Maendeleo ya Biashara Tanzania, TanTrade, inawakaribisha wamiliki wa viwanda vidogo, vya kati na vikubwa kushiriki maonesho ya 3 ya bidhaa za viwanda Tanzania kuanzia tarehe 5 hadi 9 Disemba 2018 katika uwanja wa maonesho wa Mwalimu JK Nyerere, barabara ya Kilwa, Dar es Salaam. la maonyesho haya kujadiliana, kubadilishana uzoefu na kutangaza fursa zilizopo katika sekta hizi. Aidha, maonyesho haya yatatoa fursa na hamasa kwa Watanzania kutumia bidhaa na huduma zinazozalishwa na viwanda vilivyopo nchini. Tafadhali thibitisha ushiriki wako kwa kupakua fomu kwenye tovuti www.tantrade.go.tz. Kwa maelezo zaidi, piga simu namba 0715484452 au 0754265822. Hakuna kiingilio kwa watembeleaji. Tanzania, sasa tunajenga viwanda.
Welcome back, and in international news. The government of Uganda, through its Ministry of Construction, has announced that it will build 9 new centers in its main lakes that will provide specialized sailing training as well as motivate its citizens, especially those who depend on marine transport.
Procurement is on for the equipment, and we are in the process of recruiting a team which will be given training so they can work in resource centers.
The National Independent Electoral Commission in the Democratic Republic of Congo has urged students and politicians to use computers so that they are able to choose through it. It will be the first time they will be using DRC for elections.
I have come with a voting machine so I can teach others how to use it. If you're not used to the machine, you can take longer compared to someone who knows how the machine operates. The machine will help me vote for the presidential candidate of my choice. What we've learned is important, as I'm young and I've never voted.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. Mobile company Tigo Tanzania has directed its customers to use Tigo Pesa when paying for a service of various government charges after the government launched mobile payments.
They will not have to go through the trouble of looking for local government offices and related institutions to pay for these services. Payment can now be made where you are, and this will also increase efficiency in revenue collection, essential for the development of our country.
Serikali imekuja na mfumo rafiki.
The government has come up with a user-friendly system in the Government Electronic Payment Gateway, GEPG, which helps government institutions to provide services, be it at their office or electronically.
Petroleum Bulk Procurement Agency PBPA has said that immediately after completing the exercise to find a bidder for oil procurement in January 2019, a total of 381,000 tons of oil are expected to be ordered, as well as an increase of 10% in December this year.
Mahitaji kwa ajili ya mwezi huu
This is the demand for this month. Diesel 233,000 tons, petrol 125,000 tons. For aeroplanes, we'll be needing 21,000 tons and kerosene 2,300 tons. In total, for January, we'll be needing 381,000 tons.
A total of 17,670 eggs worth over 8.8 billion shillings that were illegally imported into the country from Uganda, allegedly by businessman Siraj Muhammad, who was planning on distributing them to various areas in Bukoba Municipal in Kagera region. Another surrounding districts has been destroyed and burnt down.
There is a high risk of bird flu and we are taking precautions. There has been no cases of anyone catching the flu, but a lot of birds have died in Uganda. The lorry had 589 trays and we asked the driver if he had a permit, which obviously he did not. The lorry was taken to the police station and the eggs were destroyed.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hip, the hip, hip, hop, you don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette.
With Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And in sports news tonight, the World Amputee Football Federation General Secretary Simon Baker says he has confidence in the current Tanzania Amputee Football Federation management, adding that with their determination they can develop the sport to higher levels in the country.
Started with well, it actually started in a rehabilitation thing when they came back from the war. There are pictures of soldiers coming back from the Second World War and they're on crutches and they're kicking a ball. But it really officially started with a man called Don Bennett from America, and he's an amputee, and he was out playing basketball with his son one day, and they just started kicking the ball. And
Yes.
The next thing is he said, oh, this looks like a good game, we could actually still launch it. So it really started in America and spread. It's going over 30 years. It took the last 10 years before it's really kicked off, you know. I set it up in Ireland in 2011. And even then in Europe there was probably 8 teams, but nothing was really, you just had the World Cup.
Tottenham believe they can beat Barcelona in the new camp next month to reach the Champions League knockout stage, says boss Mauricio Pochettino. Here's one story.
Christian Eriksen's goal gave Spurs a 1-0 win over Inter Milan at Wembley last night to keep their hopes alive. The Londoners now need to match Inter's results at home to PSV Eindhoven on 11th of December to reach the last 16. Barcelona are one of the best teams in Europe and they have unbelievable players, said Pochettino. Spurs knew anything but a win over Inter would see them go out of the competition. Harry Winks strung the back and Jan van Togen headed wide as Spurs pressed it, but it took the introduction of Eriksen to make the crucial breakthrough.
And Manchester United have triggered the 1-year option on goalkeeper David De Gea's contract to avoid any uncertainty over his future heading into the January transfer window. Here's more on the story.
Spain international De Gea joined United from Atletico Madrid in 2011. His contract was due to end in the summer, allowing him to talk to overseas clubs from 1st of January and sign a pre-contract agreement. However, United have extended his deal for another year. As manager Jose Mourinho confirmed after Tuesday's 1-0 win over Young Boys, United are keen to hold on to the keeper who has won United's Best Player of the Year award 4 times in the past 5 seasons.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Karija Zimbwe. Thank you for watching and good night.